That's why
Smile.
Carol had our shamrock earrings on today.
There you go.
Since I quit
Gotta-
drinking, I don't think much about St. Patty's Day.
I'm Irish and I've never celebrated it. So there you go.
Yeah. All right. I think we're, yep. I think we're
I'd
good.
celebrate if I was in Ireland. Be a little more fun.
I think you'd almost have to if you're in Ireland.
I'd be
probably
looking for fairy
required.
rings and stuff over there.
Yeah, my
It
son
was
lived
pretty-
there for a while.
Upsetting. They canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade here because of coronavirus. I thought we're outside.
They did.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, they did
Crazy.
here too.
Okay. All right. It's time to start. Good afternoon. Thank you. This is Pyramid Quest for March, what's today's date? 16th, 2020. We're going to be talking today about coronavirus, and we have some very, very interesting and positive news about healing protocols that we've been working on over the last 2 weeks. Joining me today, a new member, Tom Nornberg, who is going to talk to us about resonance today and the importance of the pyramid and resonance in this healing process that we're going to be talking about. Lisa Richards is with us, as well as Lori and Marza Millar, I'm sorry.
Marza.
And so we're going to break this into a couple of segments. Tom's going to talk about resonance for a while today to begin with. Then we're going to go to Marza and Lori, who have each done extensive numbers of healing sessions with the pyramid and with Sherry frequencies, and also a list of healing frequencies for the chakras that both parties have been using. So we've got a lot of information to cover today. So we're going to get started right away. First, I want to go over some information about next week's show, and also some information about some research that's been done by some of our listeners. So bear with me while I pull up that information. Let's see. I'm not, forgive me for taking this much time. Let's see, Pyramid Quest. Here we go. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So to start with, I wanted to just go over one piece of new research that we've had. It's a confirmation, really, of what our gentleman in northern Canada has been doing, but this is coming from Raul Alvarez. He said, I finished my experiment on placing the water, I believe he means in a 72-inch a Russian pyramid. So that would be 6 feet tall. I placed a 19-gallon container inside the pyramid for 4 days now, and the temperature was -10 Celsius with a wind chill factor of -17, and the water did not turn to ice. So, for just another confirmation of that interesting property that Dr. Golod demonstrated years ago, that water inside the pyramid does not freeze. So now we're moving on, and this is going to be part of next week's show. This is from Brian Wilkowski. Brian and the other person that I'll mention here in a moment both got in touch with me over the last week. Brian just this last evening, and he had the following to say. He said, I've been following you on YouTube for quite some time, for a few years. He said, anyway, I made the decision to purchase one of your pyramids, and he's excited to get it. I sent it to him this morning, so he should be getting it, hopefully by the end of the week in Canada. So I also wanted to show you what I have made from learning about your research of the Russian geometry. I've attached 2 pictures, he says, of my little guy. I made it out of 1 by 2 inch wood pieces for the frame. And this is what's going to be interesting for next week. And the exterior is this plastic sheeting stuff called Coroplast or Coralite. I can't tell you how well it seems to work with energizing water and plants, and my cat seems to like it too. Just another idea for you to add to your repertoire if you so choose. So he sent me this literally this morning. So I got his pyramid out today, but here's some pictures of what he built. You can see here, this is essentially, he's put this white coralite on 3 sides of the pyramid, and he uses it to energize things inside. So looks like it's probably, I don't know, 2 feet tall, something along those lines. So I contacted Brian this morning via email when I confirmed his pyramid, asked him if he would be on the show next week, and he's happy to do that. So Brian's going to be one of our 2 guests, and he's going to show us how he built this pyramid and how you can actually put these sides out of coralite or onto your pyramid next week. Now, the other person that's going to be on next week is Scott Borders. These are both clients of Lisa's, and I'll let her talk about this in a minute, about them in a minute. But Scott called me last week. He had a phi mold Russian geometry pyramid, and he calls this his redneck pyramid because what he did was he put the 4 vertical pieces into the phi mold. I don't know exactly how he glued them or adhered them together, but he's going to teach us next week how you can make a pyramid of this sort. He's used balsa sticks, so this is very light. He's put this pyramid on top, or excuse me, he's attached it to the ceiling above his bed. So he's going to be talking to us as well next week about that experience of sleeping underneath this pyramid. So two fascinating guests for next week. Now, before we start today, we're going to be talking about some healing modalities with sound frequencies. And I wanted to show you, you can come back and look at these if you'd like later, exactly what these frequencies are that Lori and Marza are going to be talking about today. The first set of these are just some basic chakra healing frequencies for each of the 7 chakras. And you can see those listed here. Come back later. I'll try to post these in the comments section as well, so you can see how these work. There's one frequency for each of the 7 chakras. As you can see at the top, the root chakra is 396 hertz, goes up to the crown chakra at 963. One of the other things at the bottom of the page that we've also been experimenting with, we've been using higher frequencies, octave or harmonics of the crown chakra. Lori has to finish off her healing sessions, but I just wanted to give you as a general comment, these are things that you may want to experiment with yourself after you've listened to this today. You might want to try some harmonics of these frequencies, and to explain what a harmonic is, I've just given 2 examples. The 10th harmonic of the crown chakra, as you can see, the crown chakra is 963. So the 10th harmonic of that would be 9630. You can do any integral multiple of 963 to come up with a harmonic. Another example here, the 4th chakra, the 4th harmonic of the root chakra at 396 would be 396 times 3 or 1188. So just keep those in mind, and you can come back to this for reference. And here is also a list of the coronavirus frequencies that Sherry Edwards discussed with me a couple of weeks ago on Richard Hoagland's The Other Side of Midnight. We've been using these, and Tom's going to talk about some stuff that he has put together as well on these. He's put together an MP3 that you can actually use to use these if you'd like to in your healing sessions. So I'm going to stop at this point before we continue on with the slides. I want to show a video to the group that comes from Dr. Masaru Emoto. And that, I'm gonna, now let's see here. Bear with me while I figure out how to do this.
And Dr. Emoto is the water crystal guy, for those of you that might be familiar with him already.
Yeah. And so when I was on with Richard Hoagland a couple of weeks ago, his assistant actually sent us out a copy of this, and it's so good at showing why the pyramid is so important in the healing process. Now I'm going to ask, can you guys see my screen at this point?
Yes.
Oops.
Yes, good.
Okay. All right. So let me get this, I'm sorry, cranked up here. I need to have somebody give me a lesson in how to do this, I guess. Hold on. All right. here
You're
we go.
doing fine. You're doing
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, I've got a little flustered today. Here we go.
Hado is resonance. Relative frequencies attract, activate, and resonate with each other. The universe is vibrating.
Sorry about that.
I will now tell you.
I'm going to start this back.
Activate and resonate with each other. The universe is vibrating. Therefore, all matter is vibrating at a specific resonant frequency. Dr. Masaru Emoto describes resonance and the important role it plays in transmitting information through water within our vibrating universe.
If the two forks are tuned to the same note, then they resonate together. This is how energy is transmitted between two vibrating objects of the same natural frequency. Here, I will show you two forks that are tuned to slightly different frequencies. This is how energy is transmitted. Only 2 hertz difference, and they are not conducting or resonating with each other. I will now tell you why a water crystal possesses an optimal shape for resonance to occur. This object is made out of 99.999% crystal. It is the shape of a 5-sided pyramid. It resonates at a very high conductive frequency, and its small size creates a high octave note. This pyramid is the very same shape and note, but it is larger in size. The larger size resonates at a lower octave of the same note. This is the biggest shape of the same note. Once again, it is a lower octave. Here is a shape made from the same crystal material. Its shape is different from that of the 5-sided pyramid. This one only had 4 sides. You can hear there's no resonant frequencies occurring in this structure. Here is a 6-sided cube made from the same material. Once again, there is no conductivity in this shape.
こういうことをどんどん分かるようになって、
When I started to learn about this phenomena, I began to teach about the 4 laws of vibration. The first and most important law is resonance. The second is purity. The third is the law of similarity. And the fourth is shape and form. Resonant energy equals vibration, and vibration equals life.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Let's turn that off.
If you're living by those elevated states and you know how to feel that emotion of your future
Okay, so that to me that's even for me, this is a profound video because I had never seen a demonstration before that would prove what, I guess I've learned through a lot of research in science and mathematics, that the reason the pyramid works the way it does is because it's essentially a resonance chamber. And that's a pretty profound, and a 4-sided pyramid is a resonance chamber as opposed to a 3-sided pyramid or virtually any other geometric object. And I think that is that's the crux of why this sound healing, these sound healings that we've been doing over the last few weeks have had the phenomenal, results that we've been able to achieve with those. So before we go into the specifics, there's 2 things I want to do. First, I want to let Lisa talk for a moment before we go to Tom. I forgot to have her talk earlier, but Lisa's going to tell you about a new website, or excuse me, a new Facebook page that she's put together for the Pyramid Science Foundation. Take it away, Lisa.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. So I just put together yesterday the website, or I'm sorry, the Facebook page for the Pyramid Science Foundation. It's open for people to post on. So if you have any type of pyramid related information or research that you do, books that you've written, and you want to share that, please post a comment on there and share it with our followers. I think we already have about 75 followers just in one day. So we have quite a bit of followers already. Yeah. So, and some of them are people that probably have no knowledge of pyramid information, which is awesome because they're going to get schooled on what the power is really of these pyramids now.
Absolutely.
So yeah, please check that out as just Pyramid Science Foundation. Search that in Facebook and you'll be able to publish on that as well. We're also looking for more board members, and we're also, what else were we looking for, Charlie?
Well, we're always
board
looking.
members.
We're looking for board
Did I
members,
freeze it?
anyone who can help with administrative aspects, whether that's setting up websites, doing social media, helping with research projects. There's just any number of things that we can ask, would look for people.
And people that are into
and people who
people
are
that are into
interested in
health
doing
as well. If you're a
projects.
doctor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Doctors, researchers, anybody in that with that type of knowledge that wants to get more into pyramid energy and testing for us. That's what we're looking for as well. So shoot us an email and we'll get a hold of you right away.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to, before we lose any members, I want you to know that at the end of the session, we're all going to be talking about some special offers that we're offering on pyramids, on consultations, on capstones and so forth. So stay tuned to find out how you can get some special offers. We thought it was only appropriate, given the coronavirus situation, that we try to make these as available as possible to as many people. So with that said, I want to turn this over to Tom Nornberg. Tom has been working and is knows quite a bit about sound, resonance, electronics, and he's been doing some research, has some video that he wants to show you as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Tom. And thanks for coming on today, Tom.
Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick here. And we know from the theories of Dan A. Davidson, which you presented in some previous videos, Charlie, that the pyramid structure concentrates the flow of etheric energy. And a change in the density of etheric energy creates a static electric field. So as you get to the apex of the pyramid, the concentration of etheric energy is greater. Therefore, you get that electric field. These fields can be modulated with things such as sound vibration, electric or magnetic vibration. For example, this could be done with an audio source, which we will be demonstrating that later. A Tesla coil is another method, or with quartz crystals under stress. And the stress could be electrical, it could be the weight, a great weight like the Giza pyramid, which has a lot of quartz sand, and the weight of the pyramid actually puts the crystal under stress, which causes a piezoelectric effect. And another way to stress the crystals, another possibility is through light. Okay. And Professor Konstantin Meyl, M-E-Y-L, is a German engineer and scientist. And he did a really good job of continuing Tesla's work with scalar waves and pancake coils. And so I'd like to show a short video of someone who took an experimental kit from Professor Meyl and applied it to the health field. So I'm going to start that video.
Yes, this is the experimental set Professor Konstantin Meyl has invented and is selling to everyone who loves it. Many universities worldwide are bought it and are making experiments. It is the same positioning like Tesla did in Boulder, Colorado 100 years ago. We have two globes and we have an earthing between the two globes. As here we don't have an earth, we take this long cable for that purpose. And now we have between this emitter and this receiver a special scalar wave field. With these two I can adjust receiver and emitter, and if those two bulbs read the resonance, yes, now we have the frequency of resonance, they are both read, and now the connection is done between the two globes. Outside there is no danger of wedge bonding scalar waves of electrosmog. And this is what Meyl proposes for the mobile phone communication in the future, based on scalar waves instead of Hertzian waves. He says if between my mobile and the transmitter we have a scalar waves communication, no other person will be harmed. And this would be a solution for many of our problems we have with electrosmog nowadays. And this apparatus can also be used for purposes of treatment, for medical treatment, as here we have the coil, yes. We have a coil inside the emitter and we have the same coil inside the receiver. And if now we put any remedy on the emitter's coil, it is transferred to the receiver by a modulation of the scalar wave communication. And if I put my hand between my hand, if it is able to go into resonance, my hand will receive also the information of the remedy I have put on this coil, and I can be treated. Just now, there is no resonance as the red bulbs are the same, but if I find a frequency which produces a resonance in my body, I can treat myself by scalar waves. And this may be the electromagnetic or the energy medicine treatment in our future, as it is very soft, it has no side effects, and it is a very cheap method. You don't have to swallow anything. It is only an information pattern therapy, and you can either use the scalar waves by themselves as therapy frequencies, or you can take any frequency you like. You can put into the emitter a frequency pattern which you have stored on your CD or in your computer, or you can use a homeopathic remedy you place on this coil. There are many possibilities which can be done, and a big variation of these two globes exists. Meanwhile, for medical purposes, people sit down between the globes and are treated by sitting there. It is a very high sophisticated but very simple and side effect free treatment. You see, if the receiver is able to receive the maximum of the emitted scalar waves, the two bulbs are red. If I'm outside the resonance, they are not red. According to usual physical science, this what is happening here could not exist. It could not and it should not exist. And if you put a measuring device, a voltmeter or anything, ampere meter or anything, between detecting Hertzian waves, you will not find any result. There's nothing. And this, of course, is a proof that you don't have Hertzian waves. But the effect is visible. The effect cannot be neglected. And Meyl says that in the October of 2009, a proof was done by conventional physics that scalar waves must exist, as the Max Planck Institute for Physics in Germany found, and also in England it was done, found that monopoles exist. Up to then, it was an axioma of the physics, monopoles cannot exist. But now they found monopoles, and monopoles can only be explained by using neutrinos and scalar waves as an explanation. And thus, he says, now there is no possibility for conventional physics anymore to neglect scalar waves. Monopoles prove the existence of scalar waves. The rescue remedies of Dr. Bach rescue spray, and if I want to have an immediate effect on the patient or the test person, I put the rescue remedies on the emitting coil, and the patient sitting beside emitter and receiver will be treated by the frequency pattern, the typical and the unique frequency pattern of the rescue remedies. If you want to take a regulating mixture of several vegetables in order to reduce the hyperacidity in the human body, you can put it here too. There is no problem that the overlap of the remedies will be harmful. If every remedy for its own has a positive effect, also the combination will have a positive effect. As our body is able to detect very small special informations out of a huge background of noise, of electromagnetic noise. If the background may be working in the range of the Earth magnetic field, means 50 microtesla, the body will be able to detect an information of nanotesla, maybe out of this bottle, inside the microtesla. It is no problem for the body to find out every information pattern he needs for his purposes out of a huge amount of noise. And this possibility is used by the medical impact of this demonstration set or experimental set Professor Meyl has produced. You need only one bottle of rescue remedy, and you can treat as many people as you like, one after the other. And so the same you can do with every remedy existing on Earth.
Okay. So I think that video demonstrates the possibilities of using like a combination of a Tesla coil with the pyramid and using, certain homeopathic remedies.
That was fantastic, Tom. That was great.
Good, glad you liked it. Yeah, so the key is that we're modulating the energy field of the pyramid with this combination of a Tesla coil and these homeopathic remedies. Or you could use sound frequencies also to modulate the energy field. Go ahead, Charlie.
No, I was, well, a couple of questions come to mind. First thing I'll do is just let the audience know I was at this reminds me quite a bit of what I was doing yesterday. I was down in Philadelphia meeting with some really powerful individuals in the area of radionics. And we're going to be doing, one of the individuals there was, had a coil, as you were mentioning, like it's not a Tesla coil, but it's another type of coil. And we just began the process of testing that coil inside the pyramid, and it really seemed to amp it up even without an amplifier attached to this 14-point star coil that this gentleman had made. So I'm just fascinated that over the last couple of weeks we've learned so much about the impacts of harmonics, resonance in the pyramid, and finally today are able to actually start to demonstrate some of this, both in science and, as we'll get to in a moment, the actual results. So
It's funny to me, Marza kept talking about, I use flower essence, or I use the power of flowers, and she just kept saying that, and I thought we really should see the frequency of the essence in the pyramid along with sound, which we did sound first, but here this German fella already did this. So this is fantastic. And I know Marza has done it for over 30 years. So I'm sure she has all that information as well.
So Tom, please continue on, because I think this is important information for people to try to get their hands around.
That's basically all I have today. There's a lot of videos by Professor Konstantin Meyl, which really explain the theory and the scalar waves. I highly recommend those. And another area that maybe we can explore in the future is replacing the Tesla coil idea with crystals. Requires less power, and there's some more possibilities of maybe some distance, increase in distance of the effect. So that's what we'll be investigating in the future.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, now we're going to head on over to Marza Millar. Marza actually was on Richard Hoagland's Other Side of Midnight again last night. Seems like Richard is really very interested in this healing modality. So
he's on a mission. That's right.
So I'm gonna let Marza take it away, but just tell people, I guess, to start a little bit about what happened last night, and then if you would do the demonstration with your crystal pyramid, because I think that's
okay. Well, I was on Richard's show, and it all started a couple of weeks ago. I've been following Charlie on the YouTube, and I always get a notice on my phone saying, hey, Charlie's up. So I was just laying in bed one Monday morning, and there it was. And I texted to the show, and over the last couple of weeks, I've been working with this beautiful team, and we started doing some experiments together, and that led to being on Richard's show. And we did a lot of talking last night about specific healing modalities that we're doing. I have a resonance clinic in Nevada City, California, that specializes in different types of resonant healing. And I bought one of Charlie's pyramids. It has one of Lisa's orgone pyramids on the top of it. And I actually have it set up in my den right now, which is good because it's nice to have it home since I'm home for a mandatory to be home. And so anyway, we set up some protocols for using this with corona virus people, if we could find them. And I used to teach, and I still do some work with Dom and her in Northern Italy. And I teach their advanced vibration medicine class. And one of the things that we came about is there was a young woman, 47, and she had coronavirus for about 3 weeks. And so a friend of a friend asked me to reach out to her to help her. And so we did a remote healing, and I do several remote healings. And so I was able to get in the pyramid and actually do some of the work with Shari's frequencies. And I work with vibrational waters, and I also have a scalar wave machine. And so I was able to put the scalar wave machine, and then I made the vibrational waters of Shari's frequencies, and I put those within the scalar wave machine, put myself within the pyramid, and was sending her those frequencies. And she was reporting that she was feeling better and that it was working really well. And I do several remote healings that way. And then we actually had people in. Can you, Charlie, put up the slides?
Sure. Hold on. Let's see if I can do it right. Let me get back to where we need to be here. Here we go. Is this where you want to start?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a friend of mine, and she came in. I did 22 people last week, and we had some written protocols. And this was the first one where there was nothing inside the pyramid with her. And this is my friend Ginger. And she was not feeling great. She was, her throat was a little scratchy. And no, she does not have coronavirus, but she had been traveling recently and she wasn't feeling well. And she's had a little bit of a cold, runny nose, and things like that. So we put her in the pyramid, and Ginger's the type of person like, yes, I'll try anything, but I really don't think this is going to work. And, you know, she's skeptical. And so I put her in the pyramid and I said, here, we're just going to do this. So I put on the healing frequencies, and she had the most amazing, she goes like each tone and each sequence of tones on Sherry's, this is her preventative coronavirus to help with the, to boost the immune system. Every frequency set, she was feeling something different in the part of her body. And she said the very last set, she felt like she was actually being pushed backwards, and she could feel the surge of energy come from the bottom of her feet to go out the top of her head. And when she stood up, she was a little dizzy actually after the treatment. And so we were able to stabilize her, and she's been feeling really good after the treatment. So let's go to the next one. The next one is, this is my friend Natalia, and this is where we're using the Scalar wave machine inside the pyramid. And it's the exact same technology that was just on the video. And I make these vibrational waters, and I made them to go in the Scalar wave machine. So the Scalar waves are going off within the pyramid. And we had her, Natalia had the really, she had, it's called flu B, and it came out, it's been one of the flus this year. She was sick for 3 weeks, and she was just starting to feel better. And so we put her in the pyramid, and I used actually Sherry's frequencies that I'd made the vibrational waters for. There's 4 chambers within the Scalar wave machine that you put the waters. It's exactly the way the video explained it. And so you put those vials, I made the vials of water. I did study with Dr. Emoto one-on-one down in Santiago, Chile, and he gave us ways to work with prismatic light and to work with making vibrational waters. I also studied at the Bach Center in England and studied with fluorescent services. I taught vibrational medicine all over the world. And one of the things is working with a scalar wave in this pyramid has given me exponentially a way of really penetrating deeper into the body. So if you want to turn the next one, Charlie. Okay, this is the scalar wave machine. And the way the scalar wave machine, if you can see those, each of those little vials, they're 1 dram bottles, and I have them numbered, but each of those numbers are a vibration that goes into the body, just like he was doing with the Bach remedy. That Bach remedy has 5 different flower essences within it that creates 1 harmonic that goes into the body. So when I get a frequency, and I harvest flower frequencies all over the place. And I've been at the top of Mauna Kea getting the white yarrow, and that's a frequency for going into the body for protection, and also helps with the immune system. And then I go to the Sonoran Desert, and I will get the Cirrus plant, and that also creates helps with the pituitary gland, and it also helps with the liver. And then I've gone to got the harmonic of the ancient bristlecone pine, which is the oldest living tree in the world. It's about 5,000 years old, and so that works with generational healing and things like that. So, but what I've been working with this particular, this is the one of what I used for the coronavirus patient in Italy, is that I made the water frequencies, and off of Shari's frequencies, and put the bottles, corresponding bottles, into the scalar wave machine and administered it to myself, which administered it through the ether, because we live in a 0-point field. So really, it sends the energy. If I get her voice imprint, I can track it and give it to her, and she was feeling much better. So this is what the scalar wave machine looks like, and it works amazing. Can we also change to the next one? These are polarization rods, and one is copper and the other one is a stainless steel tube that has Herkimer diamonds in it. And I have different polarity tubes that I use with people. It helps balance the energies, because sometimes when our chakras are kind of blown out of place and
Are you talking to me?
Yes, of course I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And as we use our left and right brain patterns and the back and forth of the electromagnetic energy, we need a way of balancing those. And the crystalline energy within the pyramid, plus the copper energy, it sends a signal back from the brain, and it helps our bioelectric field to polarize and to help us. So I use that within the pyramid with the scalar wave with Natalia. And it really she felt tremendously well. And so what I also do is when I do this treatment, then I make the vibrational waters. And so I have the coronavirus, like the homeopathic for coronavirus, off of Shari's Edwards frequencies. And so I have that in my vibrational waters. And so I give that to them. So that helps boost their immunity through the mechanism of their body's water, which also reprograms the DNA. So it helps us sustain that vibration. So once we have that in the pyramid, the treatment, then we're able to take that frequency with us and put it at, it's called microdosing, and we're able to put that into our water, and then it's constantly within your vibration, because it's also renewing that as long as you're and the scalar wave produces what's called a Magellan wave that actually stays within the body's tissues for quite a long time. And so you're always renewing that frequency. So with the vibrational waters made from those frequencies, it's like you're having a treatment again and again and again, and you can take it anywhere with you, and it keeps your immune system up. So this is what I've been working with for the last week. I made the frequency in the lab, and now we've got it bottled, and we'll have a special offer on that at the end of the show here for people that are interested in getting some of that and getting maybe a remote treatment. Anyway, thank you, Charlie.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you so much for that, because it sounds like you're having some really positive, results from all your work. So
yes,
one of the things, this all gets confusing perhaps for people who are unfamiliar with things like scalar waves and radionics and so forth. But I just wanted to show you've seen now what Marza calls her scalar wave machine, where she can imbue these various substances with these scalar wave frequencies. What I was talking about earlier, I'm going to show you an example of what I call a radionics machine. And a radionics machine works on the same basic principles of being able, I can put an attachment in this side here where I can actually treat water, other things on a plate, similar to what Marza's doing. But
how much is something like that, Charlie? What do you got there, and how much is that?
I bought this 20 something years ago, and it was about $3,500. So I think this version would be about $6,000 today.
Okay.
But what's slightly different, Marza, tell me if I'm wrong here, but what radionics does as well is it works at a distance. This machine, I can take a photograph, like this is a photograph just of a plant that was in trouble. And what you can do, and you can do this with a map, you can do it with a human, an animal, whatever, but you can put that photograph inside of this machine and transmit those frequencies into the photograph. And given the holographic nature of the universe, those frequencies will be transmitted to the object, individual, or place that's on the photograph. So
I got to be honest with you, Charlie. I'm thinking if we do the same thing in a pyramid with the frequencies and put the photo on, we could probably do the same exact thing. I resonate to that we would. So,
well, I think you're right. It's a good point. We may be able to actually bypass the need for the radionics machine. It's an excellent idea. So
okay.
And now that you've brought that out,
I'm going to try it out today. I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, anybody in the audience who wants to try this out, send your photograph to me or to Lori or to Marza, and we'll make sure that somebody tries this out, because that's the aspect of radionics that is intriguing to me, and the reason I went to Philadelphia, because if we can get this to work, treating this at a distance, even for an entire city, could potentially be an effective way to try to stem this virus. So, with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Lori. I know that Lori and I did a couple of sessions this week, and we had some great results. I'm going to talk personally. Last Sunday, we had my significant other came back from Dallas, and she had flu-like symptoms with the runny nose and the aches and so forth. And not only did doing the 7 chakra balancing frequencies that we use beneficial to her medically, because her she was not presenting with those symptoms after the session, but also she got an offer on her house 2 hours later. So I'm going to turn it over to, and we also did another session on Saturday with another gentleman who came over to my house. We actually have that on tape, and we may make that into a video. Okay, take it away.
Thank you. I have to say, I've learned so much from Marza just alone this week, and it's just been so fascinating. Like she says, she has had years and years of practice on this, where we were just fiddling around and having some fun with it and really getting some fantastic results. And it all started with one of my clients that came here, flu-like symptoms. She was diagnosed with influenza B. And I, as a psychic, can always feel other people's energies. So I could feel the sweaty, low fever, the congestion, she was blowing her nose, coughing in her shirt, and doing all of this stuff. And I said, get in this pyramid, let's get you going. And those frequencies that Charlie showed earlier, it is just the harmonics of the chakra. We started with the root going all the way up, and then we had 2 other frequency tones. We have since changed them, but they work just as well, that we aligned and acclimated her energy to that. And once she was done, all her symptoms were clear. She went out that day. She went all over the place. She has 2 little kids. And then the next day she went to work. She got a lottery ticket. She won $50. It was pretty fantastic. And that is one thing we've noticed, is that when we put the people in, we do this sound, tone, frequency. And let me just explain a little bit about what we do, because you can do it as well without the pyramid. We just notice it amplifies the energy within the pyramid. And it really, what we've recognized is the torque of the pyramid is the technology that then goes to the area of the body that needs the healing the most. That's what we've recognized. The pyramid really does that. It's such a necessary tool. That's why we are creating this discount at the end of this video, just so people understand that this is important. They have done scientific studies to show that this pyramid can remove viruses and prevent a lot of diseases that could possibly happen. They have scientific proof. And, Charlie created this pyramid, the right degree, the right angle, and it is just so amazing. So we want to create a discount for people so that they actually get this healing for themselves. I mean, it's just amazing. So going on to the clients that I had this week, for example, one guy had congestion for many weeks since January. His sinus is cleared up. I did talk to him today. He still has some other symptoms. I want to try the photograph because he did not have a pyramid, and I invisibly encrypted him and bilocated him into my body and did that. Totally different thing that most people probably are not familiar with, but I could feel it working, but I would prefer using the photograph instead of my body. I know Marza has done this as well. It's just a different thing altogether. Now, one gal we did out of Chicago, she does a podcast with a, Charlie, who this famous person is.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but anyhow, she
It's
did a
about
before and
Carl
after.
Jung.
She did a before and after photo, and I have to say she's absolutely stunning and gorgeous. She does not want us to show you the photo, but you could clearly see the dullness to the brightness, the before and after. She felt amazingly better. And then I of course gave her some frequencies to continue on. Tom, I'm not sure you mentioned what you did, but I'd like for you to come on in a little bit and explain what you did, because he did such an awesome job of taking Sherry Edwards' tones and putting them in a file so we can just put it below our chair while sitting in the pyramid, and it does what it needs to do. Even though it's binaural beats and it's supposed to be right, left ear, it still does what it needs to do, and it's very powerful. So let's see what else. So we had several people. I have yet to have anyone with the coronavirus. I make sure I put them in this pyramid and do the file that Tom has created. It's according to Sherry Edwards, it may not prevent you from having it, but it may prevent you having the horrific symptoms of it. So, and build your immune system. Is that correct, Tom? You're muted. You're muted.
Yes, according to the information that Sherry Edwards put out during Richard Hoagland's show about a week and a half ago, the frequencies that she listed, there were 6 sets. And the idea is that it helps the body with immunity and fighting off just sort of general symptoms associated with flu-like diseases. And what I did is I took her 6 sets, and all I did was sequence them 30 seconds each in duration and just run through all the sets. They're in stereo, one frequency on the left side and one frequency on the right side.
I do want to share for those people that have had stronger symptoms, and whether it was the flu or a very bad cold, we've recognized they had to do it several times to really get rid of it. I know Carol was needing a couple of those sessions in order to clear that up. But we also noticed, and this was the odd thing, in every scenario, some kind of abundant came along with it, which was very unusual. And it was not a coincidence that this happened, because one gal that I did it on, her and her daughter just had, double ear infections, runny nose, constantly sick, cleared it up immediately. She should have probably come for a couple more treatments, but didn't have the time or couldn't get here. But the mother couldn't get any type of paycheck to save her life, and she really needed it. And then she had 3 areas of income come in all within that afternoon. So it was just very unusual how that's happening. But again, if you understand, just what we're talking about, the frequencies of the universe, if you're out of alignment of what the universe is trying to bring you, the pyramid, the frequencies are going to put you in that, and it's going to make it easier. And, you know, this is something we've stressed all along, Charlie, and what we've recognized is not only does it calm your energy, but it also allows an organization of your thoughts to then help you understand, what direction do you really want to go? What do you really want to do? What's the most important thing that's, you know, really significant for you? And at least that's my take of the pyramid. I can't speak for everybody else, but, and then the losing of the weight, I think that's a big, huge
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know for anyone else, but it always shows that I've burned about 500 calories every time we do this Monday show, and all I'm doing is sitting here. So
Well, I should have, Carol, when she was at her convention, she bought you've probably heard of these machines where you can stand on them and it vibrates really fast, and it's almost the equivalent of exercising your muscles. Well,
right. They
she
have that
bought
at
one,
Planet
and
Fitness.
it's coming
Right.
today. We should have done this 2 weeks ago and she could have saved the money. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
I do
Yeah.
want to pull up, if it's okay, I thought we'd go back to the frequency table list, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I think there's, you know, Michael has made this comment that I think is relevant. I can't tell you
Yes.
exactly why it's important at this point, but as you know, Tesla always says, look at 3, 6, and 9, you know, to understand the secrets of the universe. So
Of the
I wanted to,
harmonics, right?
yeah, I wanted to go through these specific frequencies that we are using for the 7 chakras. And I believe the term, is it called reduction? When you take the numbers and reduce, you know, add them together and then reduce it down to a single digit. If you do that with the root chakra, 3 plus 9 is 12, plus 6 is 18. And then you add 1 and 8 together, you get 9. That's the process. And if you do that for the first one, you get 9. 417, that becomes 812, that's a 3. Then 528, 7 and 8's 15, that becomes a 6. 639, that's 12, 18, that becomes a 9. And you see the pattern, it's 9, 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9. So I don't know if anyone would like to comment on that, but it seems to be an important factor in this whole process.
Yeah, that's just modulo 9, basically dividing by 9 and taking the remainder.
Okay, all right. So, you know, I guess the next place that we'd like to go, are you, Lori, do you have more that you'd like to talk about?
I'm just trying to think as far as the people, and the most successful ones have been in a pyramid. I will tell you that the most successful.
Meeting may be at risk for potential exposure. One of the confirmed
Hang on just a second.
Let's. Who recently returned from Omaha from Spain. He's one of the new cases we learned about yesterday. As of
I'm going to
Saturday,
mute
While you're
someone here.
doing that, I want to welcome Cherie, is it?
Yeah, Cherie.
And they will monitor themselves.
Would you like
to mute
for the next 2
Cherie?
weeks by taking their temperatures twice a day. The Tri-Faith Initiative had already turned all spring programs, meetings, and classes into online-only sessions. Also happening, Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo Aquarium now closed to the end of March.
Hey, Cherie, can you hear us?
At the zoo among employees or guests, the zoo is taking.
Cherie.
I turned her off. I muted her.
Okay.
I think it was her.
Okay. Yeah, it
Okay.
was.
Okay.
The only importance is that it's been more successful with people in the pyramid.
And I think, you know, the demonstrations will prove that. Now, I forgot, Marza, did you do your crystal?
No, I haven't done that. No,
That I think is a real, maybe this is a great way to kind of end the session.
Well, I'm just go on.
Just to say that Eileen Colts would like to know if anyone has a resonance you get from a crystal Stargate pyramid shape than struck, like Emojo. That's all she's asking. So if
we don't have it yet, I've been thinking about that for, believe me, a long time, how to get you know, the frequency, certainly one way to do it would be to build something out of crystal. But short of that, maybe there's a way to use cymatics, but we have not done that.
Well, considering that the pyramid is 76 angle, and so are a lot of the Hindu temples are all built at 76 degrees, I'm wondering if anything in India would have some kind of resonance in that shape. They might.
Possible. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So do you want me to go ahead and do the pyramid
Yeah,
then?
show this is a really interesting experiment.
Okay, I'm a little bit inept as far as how to show this without, I guess you could see that well.
Yeah, this is like the one that Dr. Emoto had in the film.
Right. Right. I use a lot of different sound instruments in my practice, and this is just one of them. So let me go ahead, and I'm going to put the phone down so you're going to be able to hear this, not so much see it.
Okay.
If that's okay, because I'm
that's
recording off my phone. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the and so here it is with the sound. I'm inside the pyramid playing this. And I can hear it really loud in here, and I'm feeling it all the way, mostly in my solar plexus, since it's at solar plex length, but it's giving me a really strong feeling of energy coming through. Now I'm going to step out of the pyramid and play it again, which it probably sounds the same to everyone, but it's not as magnified. The energy is, I would say, exponentially less in doing it. So you can really tell the difference in and out of this pyramid. In and out of the pyramid is amazing with the energy.
Where would one get one of these crystal pyramids if you wanted to get one?
Those, you can find them on the internet. I sell them in my shop.
Okay.
And things like that, so people can contact me. And they have all different sizes. Like he said, they have the little tiny ones all the way up. You can also look on Amazon or eBay or any of those as well. But I do have them available in the shop. We do all our resonant instruments.
Now, I'm going to assume they don't make the Russian geometry in these yet.
No, these are all Giza. These are all 56.
Yeah.
51. Sorry, 51.
We were able to get molds to get their Russian geometry fixed. So maybe we can get these guys to do
that. Would be cool. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's an amazing demonstration. And it really follows up. I was doing that several weeks ago. Marza, I can't remember if you were on, but I was saying how there seemed to be a difference when I was holding up my phone with the sound generator at different locations in and out of the pyramid. I could hear it, but perhaps you could not. And it's similar to what you were saying. You can experience it dramatically in person. It may not show up as much, for the people who are watching, but I can attest that from my experience, that is definitely the case. So,
well, definitely, inside a torsion field, everything is amplified. So anything inside the pyramidal torsion field, like I said, I was inside the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid on Christmas morning at 3 a.m. And that is the most incredible resonance chamber that the work I've ever done. Right. And we did a lot of sounding. I would recommend, there is an artist, Paul Horn, he played, it's called Inside the Great Pyramid, and he played the flute, and he also played the sarcophagus inside the Great Pyramid. It's a sound bite. It's on YouTube. It was he did it in 1976, and it's Paul Horn, Inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it's a full recording. It's amazing.
Right. Cool. All right. Well, I think what we're going to do probably is go back now and as a way of finishing up, we all feel that this is such an important area for our health and in terms of prevention that I came up with this idea this morning that, you know, we probably, and everyone on the team here has agreed to do a similar thing. I got an email this morning from someone who was asking about a discount code for purchasing a pyramid, and I gave them a discount code, and I said, you know, I really ought to do this for everyone. So for anyone who's ordering a Stargate pyramid, when you go to checkout, use the discount code Corona30, and I'm giving a $30 discount over the next 30 days through April 15th for the purchase of any Stargate meditation pyramid. And I think all of you are interested in you know, offering, you know, similar type things. So whoever wants to go first. Lisa, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to offer whoever orders a custom capstone from me or the Bionized quartz sand to fill the poles of the meditation pyramid. If you order either of those products, you get a free cosmic balance healing remote session from me. If you order both of those products, then you'll get a full hour session. So if you order one product, you get a half-hour cosmic balance session. If you order both products, you get a full hour session for those. And we also now offer a way for me to fill the poles of your meditation pyramid with that Bionized quartz sand. If you order a pyramid from Charlie, you can message me and get my address and have his pyramid shipped directly to me. I would fill it with the sand and then ship it to you.
Okay. Marza, you want to go next?
Sure. We have the coronavirus frequency vibrational waters, and we're offering those at 20% off. So anybody that wants to do that, also I'll be offering 50% off on my remote sessions for anyone that wants to do that. So you can get the session and the vibrational waters. So they can contact me off my website.
Perfect. And Lori?
Well, I'm offering for those out there, the listeners that are getting the pyramid from Charlie, I am going to do the sound healing frequency that we just talked about. For those that purchased Charlie's pyramid today, I'm going to offer that we do the sound frequency healing, creates a transformation and atonement. So it's pretty powerful, but I think it's pretty necessary during these times.
Okay. Well, I thank all of you for doing that. Now, in terms of contacting folks, if you're going to contact Lisa, you can go to my website. I don't have her on here, but you can contact her through the link on the store and get to her Etsy page, and she'll work with you on that. To contact Marza, I've got your ancientearthapothecary.com. Is there any additional contact information you'd like to give out?
Yeah, our other website is rebelalchemy.co.
Okay.
And my email address is marzaflowers@gmail.com. Pretty
Okay.
easy.
Okay. And Lori, I've got you down here for psychicomaha.com. Anything else you want to add to that?
Thank you. Thank you. That's fine. Have you been keeping an eye up on people writing about what's going on, you know, on the chat there?
I have not. Let's see. Let's see what's happening.
So Michael Phillips is talking about the 369, saying that the Tatarian architect is using it as well, or did use it as well. And then
Okay.
T Light is saying, I use my crystal quartz singing bowls inside my pyramid, and the resonation is incredible. And I know, Marza, you have said this time and time again.
Yes.
Right. Now, MRK JSF is asking, how is it different when not in the pyramid? I think that's directed to you, Marza.
It's when you feel it in the pyramid, like because it was at solar plex level, it was exponentially like I could just feel like Energizer Bunny. It just felt like, oh my gosh, it was so good. And then it was actually disappointing to step out of the pyramid and play it because it didn't feel, I mean, the feeling in the solar plexus was like, do I feel something? Is it there? That kind of thing. So exponentially different feeling in the pyramid and out of the pyramid.
Fantastic. Well, we're just about out of time for this session. As always, we thank you for tuning in to Pyramid Quest. Tell your friends about it. We're here every Monday at noontime Eastern. You can join us on the YouTube page, Stargate Pyramids, or join us via Zoom with the link that's shown on the YouTube page. So until next week at the same time, we thank you for watching. Remember, if you're ordering your pyramid, you get a free session from Lori, and you can contact Lisa and Marza for their special offers as well. I thank you for watching, and you have a great day.
Bye.